Welcome back, everybody. JumpX podcast, episode number 29. Back again with AP.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you guys on here again. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
He's respawned.
That's it. Back in action.
Yeah, no problem. We're actually going to talk about some proper strength and conditioning, athleticism topics today.
I'm keen, man.
Right?
That should be good.
Bit more of an organised podcast, so I'm going to pull out the notes right now.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right, we're going to jump right into it because we're on limited time. We only got 30 minutes today. All right, because Tom's got business things to attend to.
Yes.
All right. But first thing we want to jump into with Mr. Aaron Parker, the Mr. Controversial topic, the hot debate on your Instagram and I guess in general, right? Is optimal lines of pull for the latissimus dorsi.
I don't even think it's that controversial. I think it's dumb as fuck.
No, but we need to jump into this, all right? So what is this? No. People aren't going to know what the hell we're talking about. What are optimal lines of pull?
Okay, just for context for everybody out there, basically what an optimal line of pull rephrases to is the ability that you gotta make sure the elbows are tucked in. You gotta have different angles of positions for your lats to bias different divisions. So apparently,
why? Because it's more optimal, right?
Because it's more optimal.
Yeah, more
so
optimal.
apparently we have hypertrophy bros out here talking about that there's 3 divisions to your lats. One being the iliac, one being the thoracic, and one being the lumbar lats. Yes,
Yeah.
I had to do my homework just in case, somebody would get very upset about this. So I had to know my little divisions before coming here today. But so basically what these optimal hypertrophy bros talk about is that exercises like the basic wide grip lat pull down, your pull-ups, they're just not good enough for your lats. And there's a lot of controversy behind whether this actually has much significance to your back training in general, that you need to optimize your line of pull to maximize your hypertrophy in your lats.
Yeah.
So,
And the whole debate is like, fuck that.
pretty much, yeah. That's really it. Like, I don't even know if it's much of a debate, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Who did it stem from?
I don't know, like, to be brutally honest with you, because, social media is an echo chamber, so it just comes from many different people that are pretty much just copying, pasting off each other, pretty much, trying to make it out like it's a unique take when it's not. You know what I mean? It's like...
and it just confuses everyone. Like, our audience, like, obviously, the main reason our audience is with us is because they want to jump higher, but most of the people we train also want to look good, right? So
100%.
this also, I guess, has a lot of value to them, right? At the end of the day, it's talking about all these nuances confuses people because they're like, oh, don't do pull-ups, do all these, like optimal lines of pull in terms of targeting the iliac and all that, right? And all that, right? But it just confuses people because they're like, oh wait, so I shouldn't do pull-ups now. Oh, pull-ups are a bad exercise.
Yeah, pull-ups are overrated.
Pull-ups are, like, it just confuses the fuck out of people, right?
It does.
And like people that don't have the level of knowledge we do, they're like, what the fuck? What do I do now? Oh, like, it's like the whole thing with nutrition. It's like, oh, do I eat processed stuff? Do I eat vegetables? Do I not eat vegetables? Do I eat fucking fruit? Or do I not eat fruit because sugar's fucking bad? Oh, meat's gonna give me cancer. Do I eat fucking meat now? It's just like, fuck, bro. There's like something for everything to not. So what do I do? Just consume fucking air?
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much of a complication, man.
Exactly.
It's like eggs, bro. Like every 10 years they switch their opinion on eggs.
Yeah, eggs seems to be the thing, man. It's like eggs gives you cancer. Eggs
so it's like that with training, right? At the end of the day, the most optimal thing is going to be the thing you enjoy the most and the thing that you're going to drive the most intent with. Yeah. If that is pull-ups, then that's going to get you better results than an optimal line of pull. Because if you're just, this is boring as fuck, I have no motivation to do this exercise, even though it's quote unquote optimal in terms of the science, it's probably not going to be optimal for you because you're not going to drive the exercise with intent, and you're not going to enjoy it as much, so you're not going to train as hard, and you're not going to be as consistent.
Bro, you went off there. I love it, man. Just fucking spit an MC Austin out here, bro.
I feel like you had more
That was brilliant. I loved it, man. That was fantastic. Yeah. He just went off. That was perfect. No, but I think the issue with the optimal line of pull as well is it creates fragility in the gym as well. Because all you're doing is sitting down, you're always doing machine work, you're not getting on the free weight exercises as well. And some people may not look at that as a bad thing, because obviously the more external stability you have, objectively, it's probably going to be a better hypertrophy exercise in general. But if you're eating and increasing your calories very slightly, like a caloric surplus of, let's say, 100 plus to your maintenance calories, for example, and you're training within a 5 to 20 rep range with any exercise, you're going to induce hypertrophy. So it doesn't even matter if external stability is much of a thing. But machines here and there do have their place. They're not rubbish. They're not bad. They're good.
And what's the thing? And what's the thing with pull-ups, right? Like, why are they optimal? Because you're hitting other muscles more, like your traps, like your rhomboids, fucking biceps, all that.
You're getting a little bit of core work as well.
At the end of the day, like, if someone's training for muscle building and hypertrophy, you're going to complain about increasing the size of those muscles.
Yeah, it's just a bang for your buck, dude. Like, who the hell are you complaining?
Most of the people listening right now, like, want to get bigger overall. Like, you fucking don't need to be isolating to that extent. Just fucking get bigger. And then 3 to 5 years time, see what is lagging. Then you can, like, you know, if you want to focus on those sort of things.
Do you know what I hate? These like optimal lifter boys who will spend all their time like writing the most optimal program, but not actually training.
I know, it's kind of
I'd rather you do a little bit more of a shit program, but actually go out and push yourself than do.
That's why shit programs work, man.
That's why when I write programs, I take training enjoyment into account.
You should.
No shit though.
Right, when I was writing one of our athlete recent programs, alright, oh, he doesn't really need to deadlift, but I know he fucking loves deadlifting.
You didn't write my program, bro.
So I put deadlifts in, even though he didn't really need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? As one of his strength exercises, because he fucking loves it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's gonna train harder if there's deadlifts in his program.
Yeah.
So that's that's an example where it's gonna be more optimal for him, and that's like the level of individualization we have in terms of our programming.
Yeah.
And why you should be on a gold service. But anyways.
And I think the final thing that we'll talk about with people as well is that it's not really complicated to develop your lats at the end of the day. Like, for an example, if you don't feel the wide grip pull-up or the overhand pull-up is working that well for your lats, that's fine. All you got to do is just go to something called a neutral grip instead. And I know, shocking gasp, right? Fuck me, who would have thought? Like, you just got to do this with your hands and grab something that has this with your hand.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, at the end of the day, your lats are like adduction and shoulder extension. So the neutral grip pull-up hits that home. Or if you got rings at your gym, ring pull-ups also do the trick. Because people with tendonitis in the elbows and like forearm and wrist issues, the ring pull-up can accommodate for your movement.
That's the thing that fucking annoys me about Revos. There's no fucking good neutral grips.
I know, the neutral grips are trash at
There's
Revo.
one. There's one.
Nah, at O'Connor, that's it.
No, just in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Connor has good.
Because they have it on the squat racks.
Yeah.
Those are great pull-up ones. And the one at Cannington. The one at Cannington is beautiful as well.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't used it.
Did you remember that Natilis one when we went to Revo Cannington?
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, that was a nice neutral grip.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they've all been rubbish. There's not one single good neutral grip pull-up at
True.
Revos.
Bro, I just had a random thought. Neutral grip, what's it called? Muscle up. Is that a thing?
No, that would snap your shit up.
I'd be curious to see what that would look like.
What the fuck, John? Come on, man. You thought you were onto something there, bro. Come on.
I just feel like that'd be hard as fuck. Mostly because you
Just try to do
injure
that.
yourself instantly.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Alright, but anyways, next topic, knees over toes, training.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you guys want to start off with that?
Yeah, Tom started off with that one.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on knees over toes
It's
training?
not good or bad.
You got blocked.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring it up, but
Huh?
yeah. I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah.
It's not good or bad, why? Elaborate.
What, knees over toes?
Yeah.
I feel like, not using any names, it is circle jerked a little bit, like it's gonna fucking cure cancer. But then there's like the other side of things, and then people will be like, don't go knees over toes because your
Yeah,
knees
but that's
gonna
pretty
explode.
random, you know what I mean?
That was more like 90s, like
Yeah, that's what I'm
squat,
saying.
keep your ass
Yeah, the
behind.
answer fucking depends. Right? Fucking depends. Especially with athletes.
Well, if you're squatting deep,
That's technically knees over toes.
yeah, so is squatting deep bad? No.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's-
But sometimes for some people, depending on your leverages and how you're structurally built, you can squat ass to grass, ass sitting on your ankles, and their knees aren't over their toes.
The knees
Because
are
their femurs are so short.
Yeah.
Lou.
So that's where the answer depends. So just squat to the deepest range of motion, or lunge to the deepest range of motion, depending on the lunge variation you're doing, that your body allows you to
Stop
do
worrying about
safely
it.
with stability.
Yeah. Just like, let your body
And
go.
everyone's gonna be fucking different.
Yeah.
In terms of that, there's so many variables influencing that as well. Even injury, knee pain influences that as well, which we won't dive into. But
yeah, if it hurts, maybe don't do it or work around it. But if it doesn't hurt, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think one of the issues that we have in the fitness industry nowadays is that we create these narratives that are generally just not there. Like, for an example, the knees over toes guys, right? There was this dogma before about knees over toes. It was bad. It was wrong. Okay. And, at some point we debunked that. We got over it, right? Majority of PTs and trainers out there now would agree that knees over toes is not bad. It's good, right? But now we still have this thing that people believe that there's this stigma, unless it's from boomers that say, I benched 4 or 5 back in my day and I've got bad knees now because I did a 7-plate squat with knee wraps and belts.
Yeah.
And my def sucked balls.
Yeah.
Right? And all of a sudden, they're the guys that are saying, oh yeah, that hurt my knees, go on knees over toes. It's because they never adapted and gradually loaded themselves up to a knees over toes squat. So they believe their version of a knees over toes is this ability to do a partial squat where the knees are behind their toes.
It's like lifting stuff with a flexed spine.
Exactly.
Right? If you lift something out of your scope and capabilities with a flexed spine, you're going to hurt yourself.
You're going to give up, exactly.
Yeah.
But if I go lift a towel over there knowing I can deadlift 210, it's not going to fucking hurt my spine.
It's all relative, isn't it?
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't like the pick it up the box cue that they have at workplaces now. Because what if that dude is just a strong dude, right?
Yeah.
It all comes down to context.
No, but you watch strongmen fucking lift up stones.
Oh, their backs are like this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they don't get hurt because it built up to that slowly, right?
Yeah. And then the time that they do get hurt, once every 20 years, people go, we told you so about that flex spine.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, that could have been a stress thing. That could have been they had fuck all sleep. They may have been dehydrated. They didn't have enough calories that day. Pain is a multifactorial thing. It's not the exercise themselves. That's why I don't like it when people blame the deadlift itself for back pain. They go, there's too much of a risk to reward ratio. What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck does that even mean? Every exercise has a risk to reward ratio. You could do bicep curls and you're doing too much and you're going to get some sort of tendonitis in your elbow. Every exercise has a risk to reward ratio. Come on, man. What is that shit? I fucking hate it. It's the dumbest fucking logic argument ever.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
But so talking about the knees over toes and knees behind toes. Now, I've been on my Instagram talking about knees behind toes, and I've given my rationale for it. Okay, Aaron.Parker98, by the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram, just throw a tag in there real quick.
Yeah.
But basically, what the issue is, guys, is that we have a thing called a gait cycle. Gait cycle is our ability to walk. Okay, with the gait cycle, we have different stances. So we have an early stance, which is where our foot, all right, is the first thing to contact with the ground, our forefoot. Okay. Then we have our mid stance, which is where our midfoot starts to initiate the exercise. So early, mid, and then you have late right here, which is your heel. Okay, or your heel bone is the final thing to come off the ground. The knees over toes trains your early position, or your late stance. Yeah. So it trains that part of the gait cycle. The knees behind toes trains the early stance. Okay, so as soon as you take a step, mostly it's your heel taking the landing. First things first. It's never, if you go flat-footed when you first land, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's because we're not running here. We're just walking. So as if there's going to be any joint-related shock issues, unless you're fat.
No, you should be heel striking if you walk.
Exactly. When you walk, it should be a heel strike. When you're running, it argues. Some people find heel strike to be superior. Some people find forefoot. So it's one of those contexts.
Depends what it is though. If it's distance running, it's like that. But sprinting is pretty much all on the.
That's all forefoot. Yeah. That's all forefoot. In my opinion, when I've experienced sprinting, it's always forefoot. Starting off. That's why sometimes actually do. Oh, the dog's going off, mate. But one of the best things that I find. All right, we're back on.
All right, we're back. So you're talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about the gait cycle, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's important to train both qualities, just to conclude real quick, okay? So knees over toes isn't inherently bad. So there's a lot of clients that I have in my industry that really suck at trying to take the foot off the ground when initiating that next step or the alternating step, right? Yeah. So they need to train their knees over their toes. But most clients that I have tend to struggle at that early stance where they have to heel strike. Most of them land flat-footed when they walk. Right. Which it's not bad, but it's not good either.
It's not optimal.
It's not optimal, exactly. It's not how a gait cycle functions, right? We need them to heel strike. So I'll usually go knees behind toes isometrics or train a split squat variation where their front foot is elevated on some sort of plate and I'll tell them to really push through the hill. They get a lot of glute work that way as well. So if you're trying to target your glutes as well, guys, let's say if you're trying to do some sort of split squat variation, knees behind toes and then really driving through that heel is actually a pretty good way to develop those glutes.
I just remembered another thing you put on your Instagram, glute specialists.
Oh, I fucking hate it. Don't like it. Not a fan, man. Seriously.
Glute specialist, baby.
Not a fan, man. Not a fan. I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Like, for you guys, I get it. But glute specialist, it's like, what the hell? Like, do we have a pectoral specialist?
But what do you mean? Like, I don't.
You know those chicks that.
Yeah,
you explain.
No, there's a lot of chicks. I mean, Brett Contreras was kind of the OG about this thing, being a glute coach. So technically, it was a dude who almost kind of gatekeeped this idea of being a glute coach in the industry.
Yeah.
But I just don't get why you need to specialize in one muscle group and be like, okay, I'm a specialist at that. What the hell does that even mean? Like, I get it because there's an emotional attachment as a female to having a big booty, and ladies like having a big booty.
But yeah, it's just marketing, and then at the end of the day, people that aren't coaches themselves don't really understand. So it kind of...
Are you saying I'm not a coach, mate?
Huh?
Are you saying I'm not a coach?
No.
I'm kidding.
No. Like that's not the point. The point is that other females that aren't coaching themselves don't really understand muscle building or anything like that, or the human body in that sort of way. So then they see glute specialists. It's like,
and they go, "Oh, okay, bang."
Yeah.
Is it a smart way? It's a smart way to market.
Yeah.
Because you're getting customers and clients.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a good way to market? No. Now, you may think that's pretty dumb. I said it's a smart way to market, but I don't think it's ethically a good way to market. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I think ethically it's wrong, but it's smart.
Because it gets you clients.
Because you get clients, you get money, so you can't complain. But I don't think like morally and ethically, it has good intentions behind it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to relate it to...
I don't think it's wrong for you guys, because you guys are actually, strength coaches and you train athleticism as well. So I don't think it's wrong.
We specialize in jumping.
Exactly. And I don't think that's bad. That's perfectly fine.
That's a lot different.
It is. It's much
a lot different.
Yeah. It is. Okay.
That's like saying we're like the jump guys and we're the only way you can jump higher.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there even is a jump equivalent.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
That's what I was trying to think
Yeah.
of. I'm like, it's like someone going, I specialize in 1 foot, but like not really. It's not the same.
Imagine I specialize in 2 foot jumping.
Yeah.
That's such a
I'm
niche.
a RFD specialist.
I'm a rated force development coach.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's fucking jumping, bro. What do you mean?
That's wild.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, I guess.
Actually, next topic that leads us in a little
Developing
bit.
power.
Yeah, developing power.
Would you like me to start off?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so how I like to train power, if I were to have a client, let's say they wanted to get their vertical leap up, I'm like, okay, let's get your vertical leap up. The first thing that I would have to do to develop power is I'd probably, if they do have unnecessary body fat on them, I'd have to cut them down. That's number one. But during that cut down phase, we need to think about strength and we need to think about producing force, okay? Elite athletes are fucking great at producing rate of force. Like, that's the thing about elite athletes. It's some elite athletes out there don't have the best vertical jump out there.
Well, they can produce a lot of force
consistently,
quickly.
Yeah, consistently and quickly as well. Yeah. That is one of the more underrated traits about an elite athlete. People talk about strength, people talk about power and endurance, but a part of power as well is the ability to endure power consistently. Okay, that's why a lot of basketball players out there, like guys like Dennis Rodman, he's a freak athlete, and no one gives him credit for being a freak athlete. It's not in the way that you think it is. He has a ridiculous motor, but he's able to produce rate of force consistently to get blatant rebounds.
Yeah.
And that's important for basketball.
It is. But there's other sports that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I get that. But if we're talking about basketball, and we're talking about dunking, obviously a basketball's in your hand when you're dunking. Okay, so I'm just going to take the examples back to basketball. So just for everybody out there. So a guy like Dennis Rodman, he had to grab offensive rebounds consistently, but he had to get his feet off that floor and still produce another 25-inch vertical leap. 3, 4, 5 times over to get the offensive rebound. Right? That's impressive, but no one talks about that. Is that ability to produce that same force over and over and over again and still produce almost as equal of a vertical jump to try and grab that offensive rebound.
That's like RSI a little bit, like reactive strength index.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But to keep it basic for most individuals, the thing I need to teach is maximum strength and maximum speed or force. One of the things that I like to do, don't worry, if you're playing basketball, I don't need to worry about extensive plyometrics for you. It's useless, really. If you're playing enough basketball per week, 2 to 3 times a week, I don't need you to do extensive plyometrics because you're getting that within your basketball game. No need. Let's focus more on the intensive plyometrics. 3 to 5 sets of about 2 to 5 jumps for a certain variation. Okay? Then let's start to train within that strength area. Okay? Let's say 1 to 5 sets of about 1 to 5 repetitions. 4 to 5 minutes rest in between sets.
Yeah.
Of your back squats. Hip hinges, I wouldn't worry about too much as a 1 rep max exercise unless the client wants to do 1 rep max deadlifts. I would do them also as a secondary movement. So let's say something about 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions, and keep the intensity nice and high on something like a Romanian deadlift.
No, absolutely.
And that's it. Yeah, that's all I do.
And calf work as well.
Sorry?
And calf work as well.
And calf raises as well.
That's
100%.
On tip raises.
And tip raises, of course.
Yeah, but like every day.
Yeah, they kill
1,000 reps.
Okay, yeah, anyways. Alright, so we're going to jump into the next topic. Alright, because we only got 8 minutes here. Alright, so we're going to do something called overrated and underrated, right? And this is all like exercises, I guess, methodologies, can't even speak right now, in terms of developing athleticism. So we're going to basically be going on whether these things are overrated or underrated in terms of developing athleticism, right?
Okay.
So number one is high bar squats or back squats. Overrated or underrated in terms of developing athleticism?
I reckon in the vertical jump world, like, the fucking TikTok boys and stuff, I reckon under.
Yes.
Plyos
that context
are jerked off too much.
Yeah. Alright, we'll cover that. We'll just,
in terms of rate,
yeah. In terms of that world, in terms of
TikTok and Instagram world, I'd say it's underrated.
In terms of all the kids that are teenagers, that are 16-year-olds and friggin' don't know anything about developing a vertical jump and stuff like that, yeah, 100% underrated.
Because a lot of people just associate back squats with like moving slow.
Yeah.
So
and doing partial reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of coaches can overrate back squats as well.
I reckon the back squat's in between. It's in between for me. In general. But for developing athleticism, I think it's pretty underrated. I think it's underrated. A good high bar, close to ATG back squat is pretty underrated.
Yeah.
It never used to be.
No, it used to be... Actually, no, it used to be kind of, I think, grey area, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Bit of grey area. I think like back in the 90s and the 80s, used to be a big grey area. But you got to look at Ollie lifters as well, man. They don't train power, except for cleans and snatches, and the actual Ollie lifts themselves. But they don't go out of their way to train for a vertical leap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Byproduct.
And they can jump fucking high. If you've seen videos of some of the Chinese weightlifters doing box jumps and plyometric work, they're freaks.
Although I will say that their like standing verticals and running verticals are pretty close because they don't like really try and train their elastic components.
No, exactly.
So they just get all their vertical just straight from being strong as fuck and
being
able to do it fast.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I don't practice jumping enough.
No.
Yeah, and that, yeah.
No.
But yeah.
Do you know they actually use broad jumps? I think it was a Chinese team to like test fatigue.
Yeah.
So
what I've been seeing from the Olympic weightlifting world, which is pretty good, is that they're starting to use stuff like plyometrics as like a way to introduce deeper ranges of motions into their Ollie lifting, which is pretty cool. So they're trying to develop elastic contacts. They're trying to develop like that bounciness and that poppiness in a deep range of motion. So they're doing stuff like, deep squat plyos where they're starting to hop up and down. They're starting to do split squat jumps.
You mean to like bounce out of the bottom?
Yeah, so it feels like kind of elastic when they come out of the bottom, which a lot of people struggle with quite a bit, is feeling that poppiness out of the bottom of a squat. Usually how I would tend to do that is just get them into some deep extensive plyometrics where they just go on, in a squat position, they're just hopping down for like 15 to 20 contacts for like 2 to 4 sets. Or just squat more often. So just go 2 to 3 times a week.
Squat a lot of loads.
Yeah. Go heavy, squat frequently, so 2 to 4 times a week. If you wanted to, different variations, maybe front squatting, back squats, safety bar squat. So yeah, just play around with that.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
All right, next topic is deadlifts.
Underrated.
Traditional deadlifts.
Underrated.
Wait, are we talking about just in general?
For developing athleticism.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Underrated?
Underrated.
I'm always going to say that.
Underrated. It is. Underrated.
So if AP is saying it's underrated, it's underrated.
It is underrated.
What do you think? Because people always just demonize them straight away.
Yeah, people just say risk to reward, bad for the back.
Wait, are we talking about like straight bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people go, oh, well, why don't you just trap bar because it's safer? So then if that's the case, then this is definitely underrated as fuck.
I think if you're just an actual athlete, like that works for the AFL.
Obviously, it always depends on the context, but
It does.
It does.
In general, no, I would say, yeah.
In general, I think it's under.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Because
more
SSC
under
coaches
level.
give it too much shit.
Yes.
I would say yeah.
SSC coaches give it way too much flack, the deadlift.
Yeah.
Way too much flack.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a game changer or anything, or that is fucking needed.
It's another tool, as you would say.
Yeah, it's another tool.
Yeah,
so
but
very
by
useful.
by that logic, we could say that for every single one here.
Oh, yeah,
If
for
anybody
sure.
got an answer.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Alright, next thing, sprinting.
I reckon it's actually a little bit overrated. A little overrated.
I would say it's underrated right now, for sure.
Oh yeah, no one talks about sprinting. No one talks about it.
Underrated as fuck. I would say it's underrated.
Vertical jump world, because people don't even
For
recognize
developing athleticism.
Well, it's obviously objectively the best rate of force development exercise out there. It is.
Upright sprinting, max velocity upright sprinting, there's nothing that can replicate.
No, I agree, because you're just getting rapid
nothing-
contacts to the ground.
There's nothing that replicates it.
Okay, no, I'd say it's underrated then. I'd say it's underrated, because no one talks about
nothing-
sprinting.
There's no player you can do in the world that'll replicate that.
No, I agree. You're not wrong.
So,
No, you're right.
yeah. And a lot of people going, there's no max velocity sprinting in basketball, sports like basketball. Like,
Who fucking cares?
who fucking cares?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not
Who gives a
about.
shit?
It's not about that. It's about the adaptations and qualities you get from
That's retarded.
doing that. It's not about the exercise. It's about the adaptations you get from doing.
That's another.
Dude, that's such a fucking stupid comment. Like, where's the
Yeah.
logic in that? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't do a bicep curl when you do basketball, but yet you do
That's what I was
fucking
gonna
bicep
say.
curls.
Yeah, like these people trying to replicate
It's dumb.
everything
Sport-specific
in
shit's dumb as fuck.
It's dumb as fuck. Anyways, all right.
Angus, bro.
Next topic: players underrated or
Over.
overrated?
Over.
In the TikTok world, yeah, fuck yeah, overrated.
It's hugely overrated.
Yeah.
I think for a general population, it's heavily underrated. Heavily underrated for a general pop.
Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Heavily underrated. Like,
No shit.
Hell's
Yeah,
reasons
Because
and
dads
stuff.
are like, oh, I want to be able to run and play with my kids, but then all they're doing is strength training and not doing anything.
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
Yeah.
They got to do some sort of hopping or bounding or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Could just be as simple as warm up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. You don't need
Exactly.
to do anything crazy. But I would say in terms of like a coach's perspective, I'd say they're rated where they should be.
Wait, players.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Second last thing, Olympic lifting.
Grey area. I'm in the grey for that.
Great.
Grey. Bit of neutral.
I've come back.
I would say in terms of the vertical jump world, it's overrated.
Okay.
It does fuck off.
It
the
has
triple
gained a
extension.
bit of popularity recently, and I'd say it's overrated just from the due fact that you don't need it. You can progress just as much, if not more, without it.
I agree.
I'd argue. But also at the other end of the spectrum, I'm not saying it's not highly beneficial or that you shouldn't do it. You
It
know?
teaches you how to rapidly load the muscles in an eccentric manner. I think that's what it makes it underrated for. But overrated, triple extension work. I think it's massively overrated for triple extension work because if you actually see a lot of the lifters in lifting games, let's say if you do the slow mo, technically they don't actually triple extend all the way through.
No.
They don't. Like they don't get a complete full
They
triple
short. They
extension.
short it.
They do. It's like a little bit off by a little bit because
Yeah.
they need to get under and rotate
When you
themselves
jump,
up.
when you jump, you reach full triple extension.
Yeah. But that's what I'm
So-
saying. You don't get full carryover technically by the ollie lifts because technically when you do clean and jerks properly like an ollie lifter, you don't actually get full triple extension all the way through. You get it. You get a little. You get it partially almost. I would say. It's almost like a partial triple extension. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, last thing, trap bar deadlifts.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Overrated. They're highly overrated.
Yeah, I would
In
say,
general.
I would agree too.
Yeah. I think that's just a... I think in terms of the SSC world, I think they're rated properly. So obviously if you just get like footy teams and all that stuff, you just need a quick variation of the deadlift that you can just get in and out with.
Yeah.
Trap bar deadlifts, obviously everyone would agree, it's just an easy go.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
SSC
easy.
coaches don't have to go through 10,000 cues. They just like pick the shit up and go.
Yeah.
It's hard to
fair,
fuck up.
It's fair enough.
is.
It's fair enough
It
in
is.
terms of that context. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you
I
have
think
time.
every SSC coach or PT would probably agree that's probably a good thing sometimes for SSC coaches. Like, I don't think anybody disagrees or go out of their way to go, oh, no, trap bar deadlifts are fucking rubbish for athletes or SSC coaches or anything like that. Any common sense person will tell you, hey, if they're on a time constraint, just pick fucking easy exercises that get the athletes going up and down with some weight.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because at the end of the day, it's more about the adaptation,
Yeah,
not the exercise. You don't want to get too caught up in the exercise itself,
yeah.
you know?
But we talked about this like last time I was on here, is basically the trap bar deadlifts is just an upright block pull. Really, that's all it is. It's just like it's a squat dominant block pull.
Yeah.
Which I don't like about it. And people want to talk about joint angle specificity. Talk about an overrated concept in vertical jump world. Fuck me, that is an overrated concept, is joint angle specificity. I fucking hate it. I don't want to name coaches out there, but there's a lot of popular coaches out there that train NBA coaches that want to suck the fuck off out of joint angle specificity, and I hate it.
Well, I reckon Australia is pretty bad for that, actually.
What, joint angle specificity?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
Europe's really good with like doing deep stuff.
Yeah.
America's like, from what I've seen, but Australia's horrible, man.
Yeah.
All quarter squats, half squats.
Yeah.
Shit.
Which isn't bad here
it's
and
not
there,
bad,
because you overload a specific joint angle.
Oh yeah, no, but you don't want to be doing it.
But you don't want to go ham with them, and that's
That's
what
what
you do.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing it year round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb as fuck.
But we use specific joint angles, but like not all the time.
Not spamming
Here
it.
and there, we don't spam it. No.
But that's not a bad thing either, though.
So.
You know what I mean? But it is an overrated concept, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is something like a joint angle specificity, right? And as I said, you're getting this from professional coaches that train NBA players.
Concerning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a good thing. This is the standard of vertical jump coaches or individuals that want to improve their vertical, is crap like this, right? I mean, they're going to have their system, and their system's going to work however they want. When you have a system into place, you just go with it. You go with it. But the issue is that when somebody comes in to try and challenge your bias and your approach, that's when it becomes difficult. Because then, at some point, you're going to question your own methodology. And when you question your own methodology, then you have to start to think, okay, is what I'm doing right and wrong? But that's where you need to stick to your guns sometimes and just go, hey, what I'm doing is good. I'm fine.
Trust the process.
Getting accurate results, I'm not mad.
That's it.
But it's okay as well to check your bias here and there. Here and there. It's okay to learn new things as well. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Anyways, we've got to end the
Well,
podcast
yeah.
off there because Tom's going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this podcast and you guys are interested in training, send us a message on Instagram podcast and we'll get you set up and sorted from there. Thank you for joining us today, Aaron.
No worries.
And
It's Aaron.Parker98.
Yep.
Yeah,
Instagram?
AARON.Parker98 on Instagram, man. Get him up,
Beautiful. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
30. See ya.
Peace.